We're about the first 100 days in office of Senator Monday OKPEBHOLO as the governor of Edo State. I'm quickly hitting the ground with this interview from the studio. At the extreme left, I have a clergyman and senior pastor of Sword of Liberation Bible Church, Bishop Austin Igbasa, a public affairs analyst. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers.
And next to Bishop Austin Igbasa is a citizen legal practitioner, and he is Emmanuel Obakpolo. Thanks for coming, Emmanuel.
It's a great day being here. Good morning.
And of course, we have a political analyst with us, and he is Omogbe I14 Timothy. Thanks for coming.
Thank you once again, Philip, for having me on your program. Good morning, Nigerians.
Also from Abuja via Zoom, I have Anthony Ehilebo Esquire. Anthony Ehilebo is a PDP chieftain. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I hope it's all is well in Benin as we speak.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Well, let's quickly look at what we have here. Starting with you, Bishop Austin Igbasa. A whole lot has been said as regards, first 100 days in office, even though we know 100 days is not enough to, peruse or measure the performance of a tenure of a governor. But again, it gives us an insight and projection of the policies of such an administration in hitting on its promises and agenda. So what do you have to say as regards the development so far in 100 days?
Well, I think the issue of 100 days is something that came up from one of the American presidents, and that set up a precedent that stir up the heart of the Americans. So coming down to Edo State, we can say this 100 days in office of Senator Monday OKPEBHOLO is a very wonderful one because we're talking about practicality and enumerating this thing. Number one, we have a governor that has a character. Has a character of peace. You can remember and take your mind back to Edo House of Commotion that we have here for almost going to 12 years thereabout, where roof of House of Assemblies are being removed by governors and granite are put in the front of House of Assembly to make sure they deprive them of doing their constitutional duty. Right in this same state, we have a governor who moved everybody in House of Assembly to a room and parlor in government house. So we have a governor who is of another party, and we have not seen rancor, we have not seen fight, we have not seen crisis in the House of Assembly. Some of us who are Edo-lites here have been ashamed because Edo State is the only state that has no House of Assembly for like going to 12, 13 years. So coming back there, that is an achievement to us that we have a man who's supposed to be fighting on a daily basis with the House of Assembly, and by now we're supposed to be seeing tear gas and seeing broken bottle here and there. But it tells about the kind of governor we have. We have a humble governor. We have a man that have capacity, that speak less and act more. The governor is a man of few words. He's not a man of plenty words, but he's a man that we can see some reality on ground. Now, I give you an example of some of the developmental aspects. In the area of judiciary, we see people that have been pursued by NJC to be sworn in as judges, and they were deprived of their fundamental human rights, even after the highest apex body that have the capacity to say, make this man a judge. The man came in, and those people were sworn in. That is following due process. Now, let's look at AAU. We have seen the issue of AAU. It has become like a shame to everybody. Now, look at those number of medical doctors that were inducted. Looking at the situation in town, and the jackpot stuff that we are having in medical department in Nigeria, the rate of doctors and nurses that are leaving the country on a daily basis. Thank God for somebody like President Donald Trump that have treated the fuck up of those who are running out of.
No. You don't use that word, please. You don't use that word.
Like which word?
The F word. The F word. You don't use the F word.
What I mean is that thank God for somebody like President Donald Trump who have been able to tame that stay in your country. If you're a professional, stay in your country, your people. The medical doctors are needed to fix the problem of the people. Engineers are needed to fix road in their country. Stay back in your country. Thank God for somebody like that. Because you see, when insider refuse to learn, outsider will tell them. There is something, you see, in my play they said, outside is what will teach a stubborn child. A child that doesn't respect his elder at home By the time he gets outside and he calls an elderly person, maybe they broke his head, he will come back with blood back home. From that day, he will respect all the elderly people at home. Thank God for somebody like that with that policy. You can hear from Okojo Ewela that killed the same way. Say, African leaders look inward. Get your fund to fix your nation. So stop looking elsewhere. So when we look at those that are inducted in Ambrose Ali, and the issue that all the parents have shouted to the rooftop and nothing was done, a set of people were set up to govern that place against due process. Now looking at that, that's a plus. Infrastructure. Let's talk about there's a place I never knew that I passed through that place between Iwogba and Ute. The gully erosion in that place, houses are almost going down. But when you get there now, you see infrastructural work going on there. You talk of Ewa Road Junction that have been a prayer request. Look at Aduawa that have been between Upper Mission Extension. I'm talking of, just mention a few of infrastructural work that the man have done. Come back again to the flyover. Now, a lot of people, we have a minister, former minister in this Edo State, who was criticizing Wike. Why is he doing flyover up and down? You see, when people sit down and they got to a position without having knowledge, in-depth knowledge of what it takes, now you will say a flyover is a waste of time. If you have ever been in that same place we are talking about, husband and wife have been joined online in the name of traffic, that the woman is already in charge, the husband was trapped there. So this is, we see the work going on. Now, these are things that can be fixed, they are not rocket science. When we talk of agriculture, look at what was appropriated for agriculture now in the supplementary budget. You'll be able to know that this man is fighting for food security. When you go back to education, you see 99% additional budget was added to education. Go around, you see some schools. Even right here, as I'm talking to you, there is a school close to Payne Primary School. I don't know the name of that school, but God knows the name of that school. The school has perished now. It's very close to Edopolo. The school never existed again.
Adolo Primary School.
Okay, Adolo Primary School. That place in the heart of Benin has gone down. It has become termite house. And yet we are clapping our hand that we are the peak of. If we cannot have this kind of thing in the heart of Benin City, I tell you about Orogene, Obanosa. But when you get there now, I'm talking of things that people can feel and see. About renovation in schools that are going on. Now, I've mentioned all this, and let's come again to the traditional institution. All the rancor, all the things, some of us have fought United Nations, we wrote letters, we have been, right from the time of former Governor Lucky Igbeneghu, that we have been championing for artifacts. Today, those who did not know the story, those who did not contribute, said they want to take it to themselves. We have seen our traditional institution that is being respected worldwide, has been a thing of mockery for over 1 year, thereabout. But within a short while, you see, anybody that is going to live long, anybody that wants to grow old must have value for elders. And kings are appointed from heaven. They are not appointed here. When you want to look at what we have suffered, well, the kind of name, the kind of rancor, we are today in court, we have this one, a lot of. So within this, and the monument of the traditional ruler, I think Oba Benin has been sorted within a short while. I'm talking about, we are talking 100 days in office. And I'm talking about the peace. It's only a man that is ignorant that will say Oba of Benin in history of Edo State is a persona non grata.
Thank you.
And when somebody insults your king, the person has insulted the whole land. So the man came up, he's not a Benin man, yet within a short while, fix and give honor to whom honor is due, and being able to fix all the monument, all the things that are withdrew.
Thank you, thank you.
That, so you get me floor. So don't say thank you. Let me.
We have to share the time with our
yes,
other
what I'm saying
analysts.
is that I'm trying to point out that as far as politics is concerned, the role of traditional ruler cannot be swept under the carpet, and they cannot be usurped and cannot be taken for granted.
All right.
Well, we all saw what happened in the days of Unyarugbule. Those of us that have been here then, that look at our traditional ruler the same way he did in Ondo State, and we told him that we don't do that. You don't abuse people that are reverent, and God himself crowned them.
Thank you.
So
I'll come back
for OKPEBHOLO to do this is a pride to those of us who are idolized.
All right. Thank you. I'll come back to you. You've said a lot, but we must sincerely apologize for the use of the F word in the course of the conversation. Let's go to you, Anthony Ehilebo. You heard what the clergyman said in the person of Bishop Austin Igbasa. What do you have to say as regards the tone of administration in setting things right by Governor Monday OKPEBHOLO?
Good morning once again. Perhaps I'll caution that maybe because he's a bishop, he has not delved into the areas that particularly bother seriously on governance. What I've seen is a highfalutin praise singing of someone who has practically not done anything in 100 days. Rather, he has visited the Edo people with insecurity. He has unleashed tigers and Atalakpa in the Edo word. That's the translation for tiger on the Edo people. He has visited them with an undoing of most of the paths that had been set up towards leading Edo people towards being a prosperous state. When we talk about governance, we are talking about having a set plan. Not once has he mentioned an outline of what Governor Monday had sought to achieve and has achieved. He talked about a flyover that bulldozers were taken to a site before due process had been processed. Nobody knows the tendering process. There was no transparency. It was an opaque situation that was foisted on Edo, maybe just for, as you would say, for the glam of it. But my dear Bishop, I will ask you, what has been the IGR of the state in terms of growth? We saw the state dip from about 8 or 9 billion to 2 billion. We see them celebrating the only jump in revenue, which had happened in January because most corporate firms pay their taxes, their yearly taxes in January. But let's wait for the February outcome. Let's see if that revenue can be sustained. What we hear is that a system that has removed waste has cut down profligacy in the system, where people who are non-state actors are now involved in collection of taxes, as against a situation where everything was automated and you could account for every tax that was collected from every citizen. Let me say something, and people say it on your show regularly. There is almost no sector of life in Edo State that has not come out to protest within the last 100 days. Is it the doctors? Is it the market women? Is it, where are we? I'm from Igweben. The Onoje of Udo was kidnapped. Unheard of. Was kidnapped a couple of days ago, and I was online. I'd see videos of a certain former commissioner of police driving around and showing himself driving around. I started to wonder, are we back to the Stone Age where intelligence and security matters are used for propaganda? And when the Onoje was released, I saw a publication of thanks to this so-called CP. And I called my House of Assembly member, OJ Negbebu, who is from Udo. And he told me, he said, Tony, we paid money to have our Onoje released. Is that what we want to start celebrating? Is that the security we want to celebrate? What memorable project, what economic impact project has this governor set out? How is he improving the lives of Edo people? He talked about the Oba's palace and the Oba. Our Oba is our king, and is someone we respect. And that throne and that institution should be respected. It's not just about throwing money at the palace. What goals have you set to make the palace, to make our Bini tradition profitable for the state as a whole? How have you set up a plan to make our people in diaspora, to make people visit Edo State? Have you looked at the economic impact of growing our institutions to become institutions that become profitable? How have you thought about the life of the general livelihood of Edo people? Edo State had one of the best health insurance schemes. Today, I hear that is decrepit. I hear that is almost non-existent. Edo State had one of the best e-governance systems, 3-tier data centers. And that shows you that the state is moving in line with the technology and advancement of the world. that today I'm almost hearing that is almost non-existent. I hear that the eGov portal is almost down. They've reverted back to the stone age of carrying papers all around Edo State, and we call that progress.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that we are in court, and Edo people are praying fervently that the mandate that they gave to an individual, which was appropriated by INEC, which could not come to court to defend what it had done in Edo State, it could not present one single witness
Thank you, Tony
to
Eleba.
stand routine and question. Sorry, you gave that man so much time. If you want us to speak, allow us to ventilate the issues. Please, it's important that we speak and tell Edo people what they ordered for versus what they got, and the 100 days that they have suffered under this all these clueless, unnavigated governments that they have been. Let me say something. This is a government and a man that refused to tell Edo State and come to I don't know if he ever came to ITV to tell you people what he wanted to do for Edo State. So how can we ask him what he has done? How can we now say we are benchmarking what has happened within such a time against what he has said? He never came to you. He never spoke to Edo people. What does he owe them? He was put there
Thank
by
you, Tony
INEC,
Eleba.
Oshomola, and Akabio.
Thank you, Tony Eleba. I'll basically come back to you, all right? It's a conversation that's going to last for almost 45 minutes. But let's look at what you said and get to you, Omogbe. He made mention of the kidnap story of the eminent traditional ruler. You know, of course, he has been released, but should it have even happened at all? And we know that security is one of the 5-point agenda of the governor. He also made mention of the revenue, nose diving, and the challenge of sustaining or getting back to what the government, the predecessor of the governor, you know, left behind as legacies. He also spoke about digital governance. And these are all thresholds that it's expected that the administration of Senator Monday OKPEBHOLO, you know, should look into and see how to mimic or replicate or even surpass what transpired in that regard as per the past administration. What do you have to say in all of this that he said?
It's unfortunate that well after 100 days in office of the governor, members of the PDP are still very, very much aggrieved about the outcome of the election. Whether Edo people likes it or not, Senator Monday OKPEBHOLO remains the elected governor of the state, not the governor of members of the APC. It's the governor of the state. That being said, my brother, on the issue of the issue of security, all over the world, insecurity is a global challenge, where governments all over the world try to minimize the issue of insecurity. In trying to talk about the issues that insecurity should be eradicated totally, I think he is not truthful to himself. Since the inception of this government, we have seen tremendous contribution the governor has done towards maintaining lives and property. Recently, he bought about 40 Hiluxes for the security agents to boost their efficiency. On the other hand, you look at the aspect of the legislation that tame courtesan in this state. These are remarkable developments, achievements by this present governor. We have seen previous governors not there or not even delving into taming courtesan and all other vices in this part of the country. But Monday OKPEBHOLO came and he attacked the real issues that actually has dropped down the level of insecurity in this state. On the issue of the revenue you are talking about, he has been able to draw our revenue to about 10 billion. He made mention of the fact that we should look at that of February, that if it's going to go down or not. These are party men who are, even if you have to even go to their houses to feed them, they are not a member of your party, they are not a member of your party. We should forget about this issue of real partisan affiliations when it comes to governance. Say the truth. Like Bishop has said, during my short period in politics, I've not seen a governor that is so humble, so energetic, that speaks less and talk more as Monday OKPEBHOLO. It is unfortunate that members of the PDP, they are still so much in their old self. Nothing good comes out of another government when it comes to evaluating the next person. Truth be told, the present administration is doing very, very well in terms of insecurity, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the traditional rulership issues that we're having and all that. And if you look at how he is even related as far as appointments are concerned, he appoints people who are credible. In his first day in office, he pronounced about 2-3 appointments were made. Okay. We have seen even a situation whereby he has even gone to the extent of even suspending some of his cabinet members. So what else do you expect this man to do? So he has been having a very transparent, very accountable 100 days in office. And like Bishop has said, a lot of people thought the emergence of Monday OKPEBHOLO will continue the former tradition of having to remove assembly roof and all that. You see the synergy, you see the good working relationship he has with even PDP-dominated House of Assembly.
All right.
So, my brother, it is unfortunate that they continue to not to look at the basic things that they are supposed to be looking at. He made mention of the issue of the tribunal and all that, irrespective of the distractions by the tribunal. The governor is still pushing forward. He's still doing what he's supposed to do in 100 days. In fact, what he has achieved is so enormous, so acceptable, and is mind-blowing to me.
Okay, thank you. Well, let's look at your take on this, Emmanuel OKPEBHOLO. You are a legal practitioner. Do you see a tone in the administration of Senator Monday OKPEBHOLO as going in the right direction?
I can't say anything of that such nature. The truth is this. When you talk of, first of all, the 100 days jamboree, as we have made it in this part of the world just now, one is that it is more of a political bug that eats the atmospheric atmosphere of Nigeria today. You hear 100 days at the presidency, 100 days the states, 100 days the local government. But when you take the provision of the Constitution, particularly chapter 2 of the Constitution, that has to do with the people, and you mirror it with the purported achievement of the 100 days in office by the governor, you will agree with me absolutely that nothing has happened. Also, with the PDP, when they were in power,
mirror it, let's see.
Let me tell you, number one, the welfare of the people, the security and welfare of the people is germane. What is the position today? I heard of the PDP man who just spoke and telling us about how a high chief was kidnapped in this state. And we have been hearing of so much of it. Today, look, when you tell me that the governor has come to fight, succeeded within 100 days to fight cultism, I ask you just one simple question. What is the difference between cultism and thuggery? Cultism gives birth to thuggery. What is the state of Edo State today? Is it not thuggery everywhere in Edo State? And somebody will come here and begin to tell Edolites, tell Nigerians something different. Perhaps because you have an agenda of achieving from the government of the day. I will tell you nothing but the chloroquine bitter truth of what we are experiencing just now. You talk of the tradition, and it beats me hollow whenever somebody, people, analysts, political analysts, or legal juggernauts, as the case may be, are talking politics, and you begin to bring in the traditional institution. I want to ask, what law has this governor promulgated through via the State House of Assembly with the constitutional role or the state role, the legal role of the traditional institution in Edo State? What is the role of the traditional institution? How has those in power make the traditional institution to be so responsible to ensure that there is peace, harmony in the state, security-wise. Now, you don't just come here and begin to play politics. We should leave the traditional institution out of every politics that is being played. The traditional institution should not have a romance with today's politicians. And that is why you see there are crises everywhere. You go to Kano, crisis, and they want to also bring that in Edo State. We are saying no. Leave the traditional institution out of all of this tsunami we are witnessing, political tsunami we are witnessing in the state. To my mind, 100 days is not enough to begin to give a political scorecard to the governor. Absolutely, it is not enough. But just now, what we have seen, we see people who are praise singers. Just like we had in Animal Farm, where Squilla will come and tell all the animals that this is what the political class is doing. Whereas something different. All animals are equal. But in the real sense, some animals are more equal than others. That is what we are witnessing in Edo State. And that is why you see today in Edo State, Philip, go to Ring Road, go to Nibini and see. We just had a clip from this platform where even the reporter who was trying to intervene in a situation that was so terrible, that was to cause crisis in the state, the reporter was a victim of all. Why? And we talk of security, and we talk achievement by the governor within 100 days. We talk of welfare of the people within 100 days. Do you know how much now people pay for what they call tickets all over Edo State? Do you know what is going on in Edo State? Do you know what the motorists are going on? And somebody will not, instead for us to begin to look for proper situation, proper platform to see how we can be of assistance, advise the government, and not to begin to sing praises to them, so that at the end of the day they will feel they are doing well. Then somewhere along the line, when the thing is not now favoring us, we'll not say, oh, this person is like this, person like that. No, the truth is this. Just now, I cannot place my finger on the direction of the governor of Edo State. Just
okay,
now,
but you said not quite long. You said not quite long that the 100 days in office is not enough to peruse or measure the performance of the governor.
Yes.
Now, again, you can also see some developments going on in terms of rehabilitation of roads, the continuity of projects that was left off by the previous government under the former governor of Godwin Obaseki. Are you taking your attention of that?
We see in 24th, sorry, Mr. Philip, in 21st century, we are talking of road construction, and we are seeing it as an achievement. In Nigeria, 21st century, I won't buy into that.
All right. Let's get your take on this, because we are looking forward. It's not just about the 100 days, but let's see the ability for the administration to continue, you know, in the legacies that was left off by the previous administration. Or do you see that there isn't any legacy that it should continue from?
Just like Barrister have said here, people have known me in this state, and there is no governor in this state that will raise up hand and say, I've given Igbasa 1,000 naira. There is no governor. I am one of the 8 people that enthroned Oshomole. We paid his ticket, air ticket. We contributed to adopt him when it was even 1.5 years for Governor Lucky government to be over. So I have an integrity I've maintained. When I say something here, I'm old enough, by the grace of God, there is nobody in government that will say, even my Jerusalem, I go by myself. I don't go through state. So God has helped me to travel wide to many countries. All glory to God. So anything I say here, I'm standing on integrity of my conscience. We started this journey 32 years ago in Edo State here, and so many of us have fallen off the track. But I have remained, by the grace of God, to speak truth to power. When I stood with PDP, I stood, and everybody know what I stood for. I am the kind of person, in my place you say, Ahoma hair means somebody that mess, and will say, na me mess. That is, if fatulate, will not allow other people to say, oh, na Philip or na Mr. Morogbe. Baby, no, when he facts, he tells you that I'm the one that is responsible. So nobody by my conscience here, no government No, but I'm here during the 2023 election when everybody was standing on the other side. I told you the result of the election, not because of anything, but because of direction of what God said to me. He was here when we were here for 14 hours. I stood my ground. No, I'm trying to clear that as a statement he made here. That people will think, Igbasa has been bought. Nobody bought me. You still have to say, I won Obaseki in the first time. In the second time, I joined him to fight Oshomole. I didn't collect 1 naira. No. As I'm sitting down here, I stand, and when I was against him, I stood my ground. Why? Because nobody buy my conscience. Nobody buy my conscience. I'm somebody that contented with what God does for me. Yeah. But I will be a fool as an elder statesman to see something good and say, we were here. The man in PDP said it just now. Barrister said security has not improved. I want to see why we are here. We have the sitting governor, cultists are killing themselves in hundreds every day. PDP chairman was kidnapped. I heard the PDP guy talking about kidnapping under Senator Monday OKPEBHOLO. PDP chairman was kidnapped here, was not released in 24 hours, not 48 hours, not 7 days. A ransom was paid by a sitting governor that he's praising to the roof. So what I'm saying is that when we are talking, we should analyze. Even if you don't like somebody's face, it doesn't matter. There are people I don't like their face. Not that I hate them, but when they do something good, I analyze it, because that is my children are looking at me. Those children I gave birth, biologically and spiritually, are looking at people, are looking at me all over the world. I have a name to maintain. Nobody buy my conscience, and the money is not available in anybody's purse to buy my conscience. Now you want to tell the people that use 1 hour, 2 hours to fly from New Benin to Ramat to Aduawa. You want to tell them that OKPEBHOLO is not working now, when they know how their button tray of their vehicle used to enter Porto, and they know how many hours they stay, and they burn diesel, they burn fuel. You want to tell those guys that it's not working. You want to tell the man at Iwogba that his house is almost inside the gully, that the man is not working. You want the man to clap for you?
Make comment on Togri.
No, that he made I'm coming back. When you say, look at how many hours does it take Senator Monday OKPEBHOLO to deal with courtism. He is talking about Togri now. In America, you are talking about Togri is there. Donald Trump attempt to kill him, but assassination was twice. In America, that is the father of all nations. We have technology. Has anybody been arrested for assassination attempt of Donald Trump? He is a lawyer. I want him to say, if anybody, I'm a security expert, I analyze both security of Nigeria and other countries. So come and tell me today, America that is the father of everything, that they see everything, you have all the drone, you have all what it takes to see what is happening somewhere. You are not going to arrest a wrong person because you have the CCTV footage of everything. So when somebody have done well, his bodies are not here. When Edo House of Assembly was not in existence and fight up and down, now even God who created us, people are still asking, God, why do you give me children? You have not given me money. Why did you give me scholarship? You have not given me health to enjoy scholarship. Nobody can meet all the needs of humanity. But when somebody has done something, let us not throw our eye away from it. We were all here when Edo State is run by strangers. Total stranger brought from somewhere in the name of consultancy. All of us are here. When the person that run Edo Specialist Hospital is somewhere in another state. Okay. Now what I'm saying is that as much as we love the whole nation, we should be able to, now this is capital flight. Every governor must be able to empower his people. There is nothing wrong about patronage in politics, and I don't fight against it, because when people support you, if I support you, let's say I'm a politician and I have a waste management company. If you ask me, say, Bishop, run from Ugbowo to Oluku and take care of the waste management, you have not given me bribe. You have only empowered me to empower the people. Okay. And when I the same people I'm going to employ, who will pack this dirty, who will move this thing, the dustbin people will sell. And what you have done as a governor is that you have empowered the economy of your own people. Not bringing somebody from Port Harcourt, not bringing somebody from Lagos, not bringing somebody from Abuja. Are you saying Edo people are not enlightened? We don't have Edo people that does things well? So we were talking about that one.
Back to you.
So when we talk about that one, security, how many hours does it take OKPEBHOLO to have meeting with the people involved and say, let this killing stop? You want to compare Togri with killing? The killing we are seeing, and we have a sitting governor, Obaseki was sitting, and the people were being killed, they are beheaded everywhere. So I won't take to it.
Are you by this saying that thuggery is minimal as compared to that and shouldn't be dealt with?
It will be dealt with, but let us talk about the one you have done. You want to, now hear me, you are comparing leprosy to eczema. Eczema and leprosy, is it the same thing? Right. Somebody slap you now and we end up in police station, and somebody that killed you or killed your wife or killed somebody that concerned you, are not comparing life, losing of life, with something that do with slapping or whatever. Now, if thuggery is somewhere, is it open that will come and arrest somebody that sent somebody in New Benin?
All right.
So, but what I'm saying is that I stand here to speak my conscience.
Let the
I'm not
swing.
representing anybody. I'm representing the conscience of the masses. That when somebody do what is good, you can't compare thuggery with court killing.
Thank you. The articulation is high. The intent is huge. But I'll come back to you to make your final remarks. Let's get to you, Tony Ehilebo. We want to see capacity developed at the level of the administration of Senator Monday OKPEBHOLO as the governor of the state. Now, I know you are in the opposition as a member, as a chieftain of the PDP, but let's be honest. Let's look at how the people of Edo State can benefit from all of this. What do you see as the way forward in terms of developing capacity for the governor to, improve on what was left off for him by the predecessor?
Philip, I hope you will let me speak now. You know, for a while, I've not justified the reason why I hardly go to church anymore. But with your guest today, I'm very confident that unless our churches make reforms and our pastors and bishops start speaking the truth, we're not heading anywhere fast in this country. And I've lost complete hope and faith in them. For a pastor to say that thuggery, and by the way, on behalf of the good people of Edo State, I apologize to the staff and crew of ITV for that very horrendous video we saw of your staff being attacked by thugs. We tried to forewarn Edo State that this was coming, and unfortunately, they have to deal with it. I've heard him say that people should stay in their country and develop their country. What have you put on ground to make people stay in the country? What is it? What kind of environment do you want them to thrive in? Is it an environment of thuggery? Is it an environment where nepotism is the order of the day? The first few appointments this governor made was to satiate certain godfathers from Edo North. The appointments he made within 100 days, his attorney general, the attorney general of any government, is the most critical part of it, because he advises the government on whether to move forward, to stop, or to go to court. Where he's suspending his attorney general today, Edo State does not have an attorney general, which is very unfortunate and shows that the recruitment process of the governor is flawed and faulty. If after a few days your most critical appointment has shown to be one that is dipped in corruption, one that does not stand the test of time, then unfortunately, my dear sir, that governor has failed. And let me say this. He said that the state is in a state of an atmosphere of peace. But let me say, I always go back to where I'm from. I'm from Igweben, where one individual in the dead of the night goes to the state house and the local government council secretariat with known thugs, with people who are the drug dealers in Igweben local government, to go and impeach Suomoto by himself, an entire local government machinery. And then you say we have peace in the state. The local government is the closest tier of government to the people. And this government, within the 100 days, has completely made a mess of our local government system. What they've done yesterday is to start.
I asked you a question: how can the administration develop capacity in order to quell?
Can it develop? Nemo that Ford no have Philip. Nemo that Ford no have. You cannot give what you do not have. It is very clear from his lack of sharing a clear part of what he wants to do. He's going his presentation so far. Look at the kind of people they've invited as investors. Which serious investor have you seen come? Does Edo State have the finance to sort itself out?
All right, thank you.
If you want to grow a state, people must bring in money into that state. What is the confidence he has given those who will invest? You see, you don't even allow me to speak, Philip. You don't allow me to speak. Is it because I'm not even shouting?
No, thank you,
but
Tony. We are pressed for time, and you've taken your slot.
For investors, we have not seen investors. We have not seen anybody come to Edo State. The only person I've seen is MC Oluomo. Is MC Oluomo going to invest in Edo State? That is the only state visitor we've had in Edo State in the last 100 days.
Okay,
and you tell me that this governor is doing anything for Edo State?
Let's also have a say of other guests on this platform. Big thanks, Tony Elebo, for taking our time to be part of this, and I wish you a beautiful day ahead of you as I take that as your last remarks on this. Let's look at the way forward, all of this intrusion of, party members into the party and what advantage it has for the administration of, Senator Monday OKPEBHOLO.
Prior to the election, we had a lot of big wings from the PDP who crossed over to the APC, the likes of Obede Hama, Mosedek Benedion, Dan Obi, and the rest. Actually, they have actually contributed to the development of the state by way of their support during elections and their advices they have been given to the State Executive Council.
Okay.
Primarily, or conclusively, right? We are concluding, right?
Yeah, you have 30 seconds.
Okay. I want to really reiterate and say that the PDP should at least play a very positive opposition. Because actually, outside opposition, there's no gains or interest in democracy. Okay. So they should forget this issue of hatred by way of not appreciating the government of the day. They were there for a very long time, and we played a very constructive opposition.
Okay, so you see their perspective as that of hatred?
Yes, very well, very well. And I think they should desist from it. Irrespective of the distractions from the tribunal, the governor is on the right track.
All right, thank you. I take that as your final remarks. Let's get your final remarks on this, Emmanuel.
Well, for me to take the governor serious and to make my own contribution in Edo State is one, I want to advise the governor. He should reinstate the local government chairmen that were elected. That's a big minus on him.
Well, the report is being submitted to the EFCC, as he said.
Listen,
are you not in support of tackling? Are you not in support of tackling corruption?
Listen.
If there is,
listen.
You have.
Is it the EFCC that advised that they should be suspended?
You have 15 seconds.
Is it the EFCC that advised that they should be suspended?
In less than how many they stole up?
Why is somebody not saying something right?
Were they even elected? The local government chairmen, were they elected?
The ones that are there now are elected. The ones that are there now are not elected.
Always call it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I take that as your final remarks. Let's quickly come to you. We have more time to have this conversation.
Yes, I want to appreciate the governor and also appreciate the people. There is no perfection in humanity and the areas that need to be looked into. And I think it is too early to feel that the man is a failure. It's not a failure at all.
Thank you.
And like I said, I met the governor on a flight. Governor was seated in economy. Okay. It has never happened in Edo State here. We know how the former governors and all of them used to charge private jet. The man sat down. There another passenger by his side. Another person. There is no space. The governor sat down on economy. We start together from Abuja. So
was it by coincidence or by
deliberate? It's not coincidence. Even where I start in the flight, I had two other passengers that was empty. Okay. But where the governor sat down, people were seated with him. I went to meet him there and appreciate what he's doing and also tell him that we are praying for him. So what I'm saying is that we should see that man as not somebody that is not a waster.
Thank you, Bishop Austin.
The humility,
thank you, Bishop.
Thank you, Emmanuel
of
Thank you.
Is second to none. It is what it is. And this one on ITV.